I was on Say Yes to the Dress. Here are 5 things that surprised me about being on the show. Introduction. When I applied to be on Say Yes to the Dress, I was just another bride hoping to find the perfect gown for my wedding day. The allure of appearing on a globally recognized show and shopping at Kleinfeld Bridal in New York City was irresistible. Like millions of fans, I had spent hours watching brides try on breathtaking dresses, overcome family drama, and experience the joy of finding the one. However, being part of the show was far more complex and rewarding than I ever imagined. Here, I'll share 5 surprising aspects of my experience on Say Yes to the Dress, giving an insider's view of what it's really like to be a part of this iconic program. 1. The selection process is rigorous and detailed. Before setting foot in Kleinfeld Bridal, there's an extensive casting process that takes weeks, sometimes months, to complete. Applying to the show isn't just about being a bride with a wedding on the horizon. The producers look for compelling stories, unique personalities, and emotional depth. Application and interviews. The journey began with an online application where I shared details about my wedding, relationship, and vision for my dress. The application included questions about family dynamics, my budget, and whether there were any potential conflicts, e.g., differing opinions about dress styles. Shortly after submitting my application, I was contacted for a phone interview. This was my first interaction with the production team, and they were incredibly thorough. We discussed everything from how I met my fiancé to my most memorable moments as a bride-to-be. They were particularly interested in any emotional or dramatic elements that could make my episode relatable to viewers. Why stories matter. One thing that became clear during the process was that Say Yes to the Dress isn't just about fashion, it's about storytelling. The producers want to showcase the personal journeys of brides and their families, creating episodes that tug at the heartstrings. For me, this meant sharing not only my excitement but also the challenges I faced while planning my wedding. 2. The filming day is exhaustive. On television, the dress shopping experience looks seamless and fun, but filming for Say Yes to the Dress is a meticulously planned, all-day affair. From the moment I arrived at Kleinfeld Bridal, it was clear that this was no ordinary shopping trip. Arrival and preparations. When I walked into Kleinfeld, I was greeted by a team of producers, camera operators, and my consultant for the day. After signing release forms and reviewing the schedule, we began filming introductions and B-roll footage. This involved multiple takes of me walking through the iconic doors, interacting with my entourage, and browsing racks of gowns. On-camera consultations. The actual dress selection process was far more detailed than I had expected. Each gown I tried on was chosen based on both my preferences and the narrative the producers wanted to highlight. Before stepping onto the pedestal, I had to wait while cameras were adjusted, lighting was perfected, and microphones were repositioned. At one point, I found myself wearing a stunning ball gown while answering interview questions about my fiancé. Balancing the emotional and physical demands of the day was challenging, but the production team was supportive throughout the process. 3. Not every moment is as spontaneous as it seems. While the emotions on the show are genuine, some moments are carefully orchestrated to enhance the viewing experience. Producer guidance. During my appointment, the producers encouraged my family and friends to voice their opinions openly, even if they disagreed. This led to some heated debates about dress styles, which were later edited into dramatic highlights for the episode. For instance, my mother and sister had opposing views on whether I should wear a strapless gown. While the tension was real, the producers amplified the conflict by asking follow-up questions during interviews. Watching the episode later, I was surprised at how seamlessly these moments were woven into the storyline. Emotional cues. The producers also prompted me to reflect on my journey as a bride-to-be, often asking questions that brought tears to my eyes. This was especially true during the final reveal, where I was asked to imagine walking down the aisle in my chosen gown. The raw emotions captured on camera were as authentic as they were overwhelming. 4. The consultants are experts and performers. The consultants at Kleinfeld Bridal are more than just bridal stylists, they're seasoned professionals who know how to balance their on-camera presence with genuine customer service. Personalized attention. My consultant took the time to understand my vision, budget, and wedding theme. She pulled gowns that matched my criteria while also introducing styles I hadn't considered. Her expertise and patience made the experience enjoyable, even during moments of indecision. Working with Randy Finoli. Although Randy Finoli didn't serve as my primary consultant, he did make an appearance during my appointment. His feedback on one of the dresses was insightful, and his charismatic energy lit up the room. It was clear why he's such a beloved figure on the show, his passion for helping brides is undeniable. 5. The final reveal is pure magic. The moment I said, yes, to the dress was as emotional and transformative as it appears on TV. Standing on the pedestal, surrounded by my family and the Kleinfeld team, I felt an overwhelming sense of joy and relief. The dress that stole my heart. The gown I chose was a stunning lace A-line with intricate beadwork and a cathedral-length train. It was everything I had envisioned and more. When I saw myself in the mirror, I couldn't hold back tears. The producers captured every detail, from the sparkle in my eyes to the heartfelt reactions of my entourage. A life-changing experience. Looking back, the experience of being on Say Yes to the Dress was about more than finding a gown, it was about celebrating love, family, and the journey to marriage. The memories I made during filming will forever hold a special place in my heart. Conclusion. Being on Say Yes to the Dress was an unforgettable adventure. While the process was more demanding and emotional than I had anticipated, it was also incredibly rewarding. For brides considering applying to the show, my advice is to embrace the experience with an open mind and a sense of humor. After all, the journey to finding the one isn't just about the dress, it's about the story you create along the way. I was on Say Yes to the Dress. Here are 5 things that surprised me about being on the show. When I was on TLC's Say Yes to the Dress, I was surprised by a few things. The show isn't scripted, and I still receive fan mail years later. I thought Randy Finoli was nice and caring, and I like that we share a Louisiana connection. Back in 2016, I was on a special episode of TLC's Say Yes to the Dress, Season 15, Episode 6. I planned to get married earlier that year, but when my Louisiana home flooded and my gown was destroyed, it looked like my dream wedding was ruined. As my fiancé and I considered pushing the date back, Say Yes to the Dress posted an online request for brides to be who were affected by the flood. A friend nominated me and I was selected to be on the show. Here are 5 surprising things I learned from my Say Yes to the Dress episode. I'm one of few people, if not the only bride, who received a free dress on Say Yes to the Dress. Normally, the Say Yes to the Dress team starts by breaking down your budget, but because my original wedding gown was destroyed, I received a free dress. My episode highlighted the tragedy of the flood that took most of my belongings, and I was offered the best care by bridal designer Randy Finoli and his team. Say Yes flew my husband and me to New York, where we stayed in a lavish hotel right by Times Square. My family lost everything in the flood, so it was a huge contrast to go from watching all of our stuff wash away to wearing a Mark Zunino gown, Jimmy Choo shoes, and Kleinfeld's own collection of jewelry. As we filmed, I could feel Finoli had a strong bond with the people who he worked with to tell my story. I'm still so grateful to have been chosen to share my experience about planning a wedding that felt as if it would never happen, and I cannot thank that team enough for helping me feel the most beautiful and cared for. During the process, I learned that Finoli actually grew up in Louisiana, and he's also dealt with natural disasters. He was trapped in a 2-story apartment in New Orleans during Hurricane Katrina in 2005. I think my experience touched him because it was a story that was so close to home. I still talk to Finoli to this day, and he featured my story in a special Season 17 episode where he discussed his most memorable brides. The show isn't scripted, the crew captured my genuine reactions. And if I said something funny, cute, or cool, I quickly learned to expect to see that footage over and over again. Unfortunately, I didn't get any of the footage of my own wedding. I was so excited to have such an enormous film crew and producers record my wedding because I thought I would receive some of the footage. I also didn't hire my own videographer to capture the details of my entire wedding, so sadly, I don't have the day's events on film. Still, the Say Yes production team gave me 5 minutes of absolute fabulousness. Hindsight is 20/20, but I still wish I would have known the footage wouldn't be available to me because I definitely would have hired a videographer. I still receive fan mail about our episode every so often. People may not know that my husband and I have split up since our episode aired. Still, every time fans contact me, I don't really know what to say other than, thank you. This story was originally published on July 14, 2022, and most recently updated on December 20, 2024.